Before anything else, we would like to state again and remind our viewers that our objective in doing this program is to present the facts we gathered and present it to you without passing any judgment or conclusion just yet. At the end of this series, however, we will be providing a conclusion and a stand based on the research that our group has done. If you have information that can enlighten us and provide more clarity on this topic, please contact us and we will be more than willing to present your side. In our previous episode, we already talked about the claim of Butuan as Mr. Greg Ontiveros also explains his research paper and his basis for his claim. For a long time, Butuan was believed to be the site of the first Easter Mass in the country. This belief was the norm and has never been seriously contested. Claims that with the new primary source documents, a correction was needed to be done. In the early 1900s, there were claims that Limasawa Island is the location of the Mass, not in Butuan. In this episode of Historia, we will continue to go through the claim of Butuan as they tell us their side in claiming the first Mass in the Philippines, together with Butuan proponents who contest their claim to the panel regarding the first Mass in the country.
Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Pangilinan, your kulit traveler from Limang Siglo, and welcome to Historia, Story Within History. In this series, we will hear the stories of every place we visit. Let's explore, enhance our knowledge, but more importantly, enjoy, while deepening our understanding of our history.
This episode was made through the generous support of TerraVibe.com. Two sites are claiming the place for the first Easter Mass, Butuan and Limasawa Island. But we will focus first on the claim of Butuan. I am with Mr. Jun Alvizo, a researcher from Butuan City. His curiosity led him to research deeply the circumnavigation of Ferdinand Magellan to the world. Mr. Alvizo was referred to us by Father Joesilo Amalla from the Diocese of Butuan.
I'm Jun Alvizo. I am the Executive Director of Filipinas Quincentenario, organization that actually spearheaded the awareness of the 500th anniversary celebration of the first circumnavigation world. That's what we are celebrating in 2021. The Filipinas Quincentenario, the 500 years of Philippine Christianity. Of the Philippine nation. That's it. And I am the Executive Director of the organization, Filipinas Quincentenario, and their Philippine Quincentennial Center Incorporated.
According to Mr. Jun Alvizo, his curiosity started while watching Butuan City celebrate the Feast of Santo Niño, Kahimunan Festival. Because of this, he started researching about the celebration of Santo Niño in Cebu and found out that Ferdinand Magellan brought the image of Santo Niño in his expedition and concluded that the city celebrates the Kahimunan Festival because the Magellan Elcano expedition went to Butuan.
The interest actually stemmed from the fact that it was in 1986 when we had the Kahimunan Festival, and we had the Santo Niño celebration there in Libertad. There's a patron saint of that barangay in Butuan City. And I made a research on the reason why we're celebrating Niño in Butuan when the Santo Niño is also celebrated in Cebu. So I just wanted to make some historical narrative on the reason why, or the raison d'être, why we are trying to celebrate the Kaimunan Festival in Butuan City. So there, I found out that it led me to the research on circumnavigation of the world. That's the Magellanic voyage, no? And that's why I said if Santo Niño was on board the flotilla of Magellan, so if he went to Butuan, he went to Mazawa, which is in Butuan. So there's also a reason for the people of Butuan to commemorate that visit of Santo Niño in the city, in Butuan. So yun, namin. And then I dug deeper because I also tried on the beginnings, or the beginning of the Philippines.
Kaimunan Festival is celebrated annually starting January 15 in Barangay Libertad to honor the feast of Santo Niño. Kahimunan is a Manobo term that means to gather. According to Mr. Alvizo, the planting of the cross is the birth of the nation we become now. He believes that Spain created what is now the Philippines. In our previous episode, Dr. Herona said that the planting of the cross is a symbol of having territory marked by Spain. The Portuguese too have their own symbol to mark their territories. They are called padrao. A padrao is a stone pillar left by Portuguese maritime explorers in the 15th and 16th centuries to record significant landfalls and thereby establish primacy and possession. In the previous episode, Mr. Greg told us his concern about the impartiality of Mojares panel. He claims that by having two of the panel members as authors and writers of books that never questioned the location of Mazawa, their bias is obvious. Similarly, Mr. Jun Alvizo support this concern.
We brought it out to the national consciousness, and even we asked for a resolution, this proper resolution on this matter, the side of the church. That is the reason why they said that they collaborated with the NHCP and came up with the Mojares panel. But we have a reservation, Centenario Group, Butuan Centenario. We have a reservation on that because the composition of the panel is really, to us, doubtful, since most of the members there are proponents of Limasawa from their works one way or the other. The books they have written, like Dr. Ronald and even Dr. Mojares has made himself clear that the first mass is in Limasawa Court, and he is the chair of that panel. So we find that it is really not the right venue to hold the resolution or to bring out these issues. I think what would have been done is to make an investigation on the claims of Butuan.
According to Mr. Jun Alvizo, Masaw Butuan is just a small part of Mazawa, and it is the port area of the island and the city. The city government of Butuan claims that the site of the first mass was in Pinamungkulan and Bangkasi. Balanghay were the first wooden watercraft excavated in Southeast Asia. Balanghay is celebrated annually in the Balanghay Festival of Butuan City.
Well, because in Pinamangkulan there is a hill there. Actually, what the city government of Butuan has done there is a tableau of the first mass. And this is the ecotourism center, the Buon promontory. No, that's the tourism site also. That is what by the tourism and cultural council of Butuan as the site, because when you go down from that hill, that's where also you will find the on-site museum of the Balanghay boats. So that area there, because Masawa is like 3,000 hectares. And that area there, because even up to now, if you make some diggings in the area, you'll really find antiques, of Chinese origin. So it will really, give you this sense of belief that there is really trade that happened in that area. It was probably a trading port at the time, because there were boats, there were merchandise, there were antiques there. Masawa is a very small area. It is part, if Masawa Island is 3,000 hectares, Masawa is just a portion. That is just the port there. Okay, that's just the port along the Butuan Bay. That is why they said that was probably the port, where Magellan landed, because it's really docking area.
As we end the last part of the claim of Butuan, the team of Historia would like to say that we are just here to show all the claims of the first mass in the Philippines. Remember the Rashomon effect. It describes a situation in which an event is given contradictory interpretations or descriptions by the individuals involved. This presentation of events is often from the point of view that is favorable to the presenter. It is your judgment what claim is plausible for you. But at the end of this series, we will make a conclusion based on the research that our group has done. In our next episode, we will now go to our last claim in our series of the first mass in the Philippines. And this is the claim of Limasawa Island that was declared by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines as the site of the first Easter Mass in the Philippines. We are done with 4 claims as the site of the first Mass in the country. The celebration of a Mass by Blessed Odorico on Santiago Island, off the coast of Bolinao, Pangasinan, the claim of Mazawa Island, Homonhon Island, and Butuan. Let me know what you think about this episode. You can comment on our YouTube channel or tweet your reaction and tag us at Limang Siglo. If you want to check our previous episodes, don't forget to click the I button on the upper right corner of the video. Historia playlist will be linked on the description box below.
Time flies so fast, but every minute is a story. Thank you for watching this episode. I'm your Kulit Traveler, Mark Pangilinan. Our national hero Jose Rizal once said, "He who does not know how to look back at where he came from will never get to his destination." See you again next week, and this is Historia, story within history.
Here at Historia, we don't have a monopoly in knowledge, talent, and information. If you would like to be one of our council of consultants, we would be more than willing to discuss it with you. Just email us at mark@limangsiglo.org. This episode was made through the generous support of TerraVibe.com. TerraVibe.com is an information communication technology solutions provider focusing on high-touch, high-tech, and high-service environments. This includes software technology development, as well as infrastructure and network setup and maintenance.